During lunchtime at school, the boy Stanley walked into the restroom instead. He turned on the faucet and gulped down water again and again. Only after he no longer felt hungry did he decide to return to the classroom. The other students pulled out the lunches their mothers had prepared for them. There were all kinds of fancy snacks in lunchboxes. Stanley could only sit nearby and watch. He swallowed hard with envy. Seeing the look in Stanley's eyes, the chubby boy wanted to share his lunch with him. But just as Stanley reached for a piece of flatbread, his hand was slapped hard. It was the language teacher. He hit students whenever he felt like it. The teacher asked Stanley why he never brought his own lunch, and why he was always trying to mooch food from his classmates. Stanley told the teacher he had money, and was just about to go buy something delicious. After saying that, he walked away. Then the teacher arrogantly snatched the flatbread from the chubby boy's hands, and ate it himself. In reality, Stanley had lied about going to buy food. He did not even have a single dollar in his pocket. He stood by the roadside for a very long time. That afternoon during class, he had no choice but to keep borrowing water from classmates to drink. Only then could he ease the hunger in his stomach. Gradually, the teacher also began noticing something strange. There were always scratches and bruises on Stanley's cheeks, and Stanley never left a lunchbox at school. Even his textbooks were torn and battered. The teacher asked how he got the injuries on his face. Stanley replied that he got hurt while trying to save someone. Then why was a page missing from his textbook? Stanley quickly made up another excuse, saying his little sister had ripped it out. No one could understand what was really going on with Stanley. His stories made the whole class burst into laughter. The way he talked was almost like a comedian. But there was also a domineering teacher in the class. He never brought his own lunch either. Whenever he got hungry, he simply stole food from the students. Even the other teachers were fed up with him. They told him he should bring his own lunchbox, but he shamelessly claimed he never cooked. As he spoke, he casually grabbed food from another teacher's plate. What an unbelievably rude teacher. Yet he still criticized Stanley for eating other people's food, while stuffing stolen food into his own mouth. One day, the school announced extra tutoring classes. The students were told to bring extra food to school. The teacher was thrilled by the news. Looking at the mountain of food in the chubby boy's luxurious lunchbox, the teacher became curious about what was inside. The chubby boy pretended not to hear him, but the teacher had no intention of giving up. At lunchtime, he planned to snatch the lunchbox away. However, by the time he arrived, all the food on the desks had already been eaten. Only Stanley remained in the classroom. The teacher instantly exploded with rage. Unable to say anything to the others, he vented all his anger onto Stanley. He demanded to know why Stanley never brought his own lunchbox, and why he was always begging food from classmates, to the point that the teacher himself was practically starving. Stanley lowered his head and remained silent. The teacher warned him that he would be back again tomorrow. The next lunchtime, the students were still greeting Stanley warmly, inviting him over to eat with them. But this time, Stanley refused. He claimed his mother had already prepared lunch for him, and was waiting for him at home. Not long after Stanley left, the teacher showed up again. He greedily devoured the lunches the students offered him, with soup dripping from the corner of his mouth. From that day on, Stanley